Okay, here we go. New phone again. Well, new old phone. I got my dad took my new one. I got an old new one because I just couldn't compromise. I needed a headphone jack. Hi. So you're gonna be joining me for this one, huh? As long as you don't bite me, you're allowed up here. This desk was a mess earlier today before we got it recorded. Because all the shit up there was on this desk. And I procrastinated on making this video just so that I could have the old Monster High and the one Ever After High doll and the Taylor Swift doll up there. But the stuff left on the desk includes the newest thing I got, this holographic. It only kind of this rock, petrified rock, that my mom got. My mom got it at a show she played at a reservation. I got this Siamese gay man flag pin from STLV this year. I got a sticker that's on the next sketchbook, I think, of the Ace one or the Arrow one. I can't remember which one I got. Mom got one with the bi flag that had a white husky on it, which she got because we have a white husky. So the headset for my film classes. Oh no, I did use the Ace one on this sketchbook. I just also had an Arrow one with a bat. I got this at a Santa Fe show. This at the Pride Parade. I think some of these I've shown off before. The data print. Ace pin. Some of those leftover stickers Daya gave me as an apology. The Escape from the Zoo sticker I got for free. Yeah, I didn't have to pay for it. Instead, anyone who got one of these stickers, the band donated to a charity. Got this at STLV. This had an arrow pin on it, but kept it for information about the artist that made it. All thick patch, it needs to be cleaned. This is from the dolls that I had up here. This I decided to keep this because I'm a film student, and it was funny. My mom kept one of the props from the coffin bean thing because she works at a coffee shop. And then this sticker I got for signing the petition for Star Trek Legacy at STLV. I got a box of colored pencils. You're gonna see I do colored pencil art in here now. Oh, and the brush for the dolls. Need to brush their hair. And I don't know how the hell Mom found this. This is my guitar tuner that I lost like 2 years ago and I couldn't find, and then suddenly Mom found it. The one for this one right here that I haven't played in a while. I had a picture frame to put. This one I got at a Comic-Con to cover up the Bill Cipher one, which when we went to put this one in, we saw that it was covering up this Ghoulia one. And so we decided to keep that tradition so that every time I put a new piece in there, we see all the other pieces that previously had that frame, but it broke while we were trying to transfer it. So it's here until we can find a frame for it. See, we got these two stickers that I got at STLV. One of the Dia stickers Got this one at the Pride Parade. My mom was like so confused by what it was, but I think it's supposed to be ice cream. I think that's supposed to be the pun. Uh, I got this at Animal Humane where I volunteer. This at a Comic-Con. They didn't have a name for this creature, but my mom called it an octocat. So, Peachy Keen where I get my hair done. Music is the enemy sticker. I think I also got this at the Escape from the Zoo show for free. And then I got this one for free as well. Because this was a birthday gift. Trin and I went to Fang Tang's for my birthday, and then we decided to check out what was going on at Rig, because they are having a show there. Stayed for like a few minutes before we went home. But Mom told one of the owners that it was my birthday, and so he rushed to the back and then gave me this and said happy birthday. And then I got these other two at STLV, and then one of the Gay Man flag stickers from that endless roll I got on accident. So there's the stickers for this one, and now it's time to look into this. Double checking. Okay, I think this one doesn't have... This one has notes. Yeah, this one has notes in it from class. You're going to see some of my work for my production classes in at the beginning of this year. And then I've got the currently taking a math and the intro to psychology class. You're going to see math notes and psychology notes in here. Oh, forgot. This mug, which holds the Vulcan writing of my name that someone threw up on. And then this tip that my mom got that but this mug was a gift from one of the STLV crew because Kim had all these mugs and she had this Move Along Home mug. And it's so wild that this episode has a mug, and I think Scott almost got it, but then like my mom was like, no, Che needs that. He unironically loves this episode. He needs that mug more than you. So yeah, and then it cracked and broke. We're trying to find one of those edible like clay stuff to put there and fix it. Anyway, this one doesn't have... The last few sketchbook tours I did, the first few pages are of old work. This one doesn't have that now. But I did get this sketchbook on the way to STLV last year, because when we got to our hotel in Flagstaff, I realized I brought the wrong sketchbook, one of the ones I already finished. So we went and bought a new sketchbook at Flagstaff. So the first few pages are stuff I wrote, or stuff I drew during the STLV of 2023. Let's begin. Yeah. So like it starts with this comic and some thumbnails for Barbara. This was a dark day. It was a dark day for something that happened, one of my former favorite bands. And then a bunch of sketches for a comic. And then this is thumbnails. Thumbnails for that animation I put up for Star Trek Voyager. The one with the audio from 50% off. This is practice crutch drawing for Yar, because he's got crutches sometimes. I was practicing with that. This here is like sort of just a general layout for a setting for one of my stories. And then some of the due dates for the production classes. No, don't bite that. No! Yeah, this is for a attention seekers, the story based on my experiences at a performing arts school for middle school and high school. And this is kind of like based on the general layout of what my middle school was like, because this is when I was in the middle school section of that school. Some practice with props and stuff. This was all stuff I drew from the classroom of my post-production class, and a thumbnail for the picture for play button. Thumbnails again! And the name of the medicine I had to stop because it made me nauseous. This is for the midterm of the production classes. I was the storyboard artist on there. So this is like just the thumbnails to show our director of photography or cinematographer for him to approve. There's Mr. Man. You know, and his giant bong with the tiny hands. Yeah, it was very nice. I showed him, our director of photography, these, and he was like, wow, these are exactly what I was envisioning. And I was like, yes! I got it right. Yeah, except I like missed some stuff in the script, so like I changed I had to like rearrange some stuff, so I had to like put these arrows to show when something was supposed to be replaced. That's the cat that has been going on and off of my lap the entire video. A drawing of my my bottle that I keep my tea in on the go. And I was also, and there's like a test for a dog. I was also the costume designer for this project, and it was like a Western. And I had like these ideas for like our main people. You know, I was a little upset that like Fingers wasn't as pink. I really wanted her to be pink to fit that like feminine stereotype, because like the whole like joke was that she was a very feminine, small, petite little girl that could kick ass. You know, Hero stayed pretty orange, so I liked that. He seemed like a character design. I love character design. It's probably obvious based on how much I draw my characters in here. I love character design, so this was like perfect. And like a little mock of what our set looks like for my own reference when making the storyboards. This is for a story I dropped. I wanted a story about like a small supernatural town, you know, Gravity Falls, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you know, that kind of stuff. Did not stick around. Kind of got replaced, actually. Got replaced with this other one that I was like way more like interested in, because I was adapting some like formidable childhood experiences with creepy media, which is probably like the best because then I know that others will relate to it, because I know it was a very formidable part of my generation's horror experience. We'll get to that later, probably. I probably draw some stuff from that one. But this is not a dropped one. This is demo state, based on a series of dreams I had in the 5th grade. It was wild. They picked up right where they left off every time I went back to sleep, and they've stuck with me. So, like, I just felt like I had to, like, make them into a show. This is also from one that was dropped. I wanted to make, like, a sitcom about a bunch of people in one apartment complex. Because I've seen sitcoms about a bunch of people in one apartment, like, apartment, but not the entire complex. Or, like, the main characters are, like, it follows some of the other people in the apartment complex, but, like, you still mainly follow, like, one household. I wanted it to be, like, the entire, like, floor of the complex. I didn't I ended up not keeping with that. I'm not great at writing sitcoms. Like, I like a mix of serialized and episodic. You know, like that Voyager, Deep Space Nine kind of balance. This is the one that replaced the other one. I'm sure you can probably guess something about this if you're around my age. With the burn victim thing. Some stuff from Clear Lake School of Magic, the series I made to fill the Hogwarts-shaped hole in my heart. Not the Harry Potter-shaped hole. I did not like the Harry Potter story. I liked Hogwarts. I only liked Hogwarts. I literally, all I liked about it was Hogwarts. So I needed to make a new story about, like, that kind of magical school. It takes a lot more inspiration from Deep Space Nine as a story. But, like, it's fantasy instead of sci-fi. More stuff for that. I'm calling it Stories from Reading Stead. Because it's based on, like, written horror stories. And I'm going to just spoil what it's really, like, about with this character being based on a very specific story where, like, I like the idea, but, like, the way that artists have interpreted it really bugs me. This is, like, a creature on the same wavelength as Mr. Widemouth. And the thing is that I like the concept of Mr. Widemouth, but I think people make him way too scary. Like, I think artists make him, like, purposefully so scary that I cannot suspend my belief that a, like, child would trust this thing ever at all or ever want to be friends with it because of just how terrifying they make him. I was, like, you see all my Monster High stuff up there? You have no idea how terrified I was in Monster High before my friend got me the first doll. Like, I did not want to be anywhere near it. That was too scary for me. Now imagine, like, Mr. Widemouth comes into my life and I'm just like, fuck that. Absolutely not. So I wanted to make him, like, I don't know, kind of friendly looking, approachable, and, like, Cubey. I wanted to make him like Cubey because when you first meet him, you're like, oh, look at this little guy, little friend. And nothing about his design changes throughout the show, but you begin to hate him and fear him as the show goes on, as you're told more and more information about him and see him be the evil entity that he is. And it's like, they didn't have to change anything about his design to make him scary. He just became scary because you knew what he was. And, like, I want that to be, like, this creature right here for, like, the Mr. Widemouth inspiration in this story. Like, I want him to look like a little, like, yeah, he's got, like, scary features so that when he's, like, horror, when he reveals his true, like, horror self, it's like, but it's not, like, drastically changed. Another drop story. wanted one about like crossing dimensions, crossing universes. I was going to tie it into Clash and Outside Perspective, but it got dropped. My final story's been replaced with one that I made around 7 years old. So like kind of I felt like that was a good closing thing for me to work on. More stuff for my production classes. These are the storyboards for the final. It was a lot more work. Some practice with like props and stuff. This was the church buildings we got when Roswell wrapped. So we were given a bunch of stuff from the Roswell set. But this is the and then there's Janeway. I wanted to drop Janeway. The storyboards for that. There's Jewel. It's like it was weird. It was a weird thing. He was really inspired by that Eternal Sunshine, I think is the name of it. I don't know. All I've heard about Eternal Sunshine is from my parents who said that they went to the theater and it was 2 hours that they'll never get back. And they only went because my dad had an obsession with Jim Carrey and needed to see everything that he was in. So some stuff for unfinished business. First, we got Mari with the basketball. Then this is like supposed to be like a mock Polaroid picture. This is like me getting started on some of the designs for the new Pantheon's like magical girl garb. This is supposed to be Connie. It's definitely going to need some work. I'm not like big on fantasy designs. Like I like my stuff being more grounded, but I wanted to make this show. So I have to design a bunch of magical girl outfits. Some more stuff for the Clear Lake Soul Magic, and this is what the burned character looks like. Not burned. First we have Samar, who broke their wand. It's gonna be a running theme with them. They're gonna break their wand all the time. But this is like supposed to be like the lake, the clear lake of or near the School of Magic, giving it its name. That's supposed to have like magical properties. Some mock stuff for my toy house profile as well. Some practice with there's Holt. I just wanted to draw Holt. Some practice stuff with like anatomy, facial structure, lips, noses. There's more of my cat on this chair. This is one of our lights in the production classroom. The doctor, I have a lot of trouble drawing the doctor, and I don't know why. This is like the best I've drawn him, and this was without references. I feel like I just need to draw him without references, because I feel like when I have the reference, I focus too much on making him look like Robert Picardo instead of a stylized version of Robert Picardo. And then some more non-canon incorrect quotes, comics. Yeah, that is their dynamic. Okay, this is supposed to be for the blackout story blackout. And so is this. This is supposed to be more with like the horror stuff about it. Another comic. There's more of, I'm calling him Sir Smiley, said Mr. Wymouth. And there's another one from the Stories from Reading Stead. And more from Stories from Reading Stead. This one might, listen, I can't talk about whose story this one is based on without fucking it up. Because I keep wanting to call her Clockwork Orange. Every time I say Clockwork, I want to finish it with Orange. And it's going to give like people a very different idea of his story if I say he's based on Clockwork Orange. But, and then like this, I think you can guess who this one's based on. Just from like the getup and where they are. Another one. And then we've got this for the my short little animation with Bashir and O'Brien. This is for another one. It's called Farewell Youth. It's kind of based off the it's a more serious, non-comedic, non-like shock value raunchy kind of idea of the Star Kid musical and the Netflix show. Probably know which ones I'm talking about if I just say monsters based on the experiences of growing up following a bunch of people around. And this is supposed to be a jester following one of these kids around that is supposed to be a representation of intrusive thoughts. And then more crutch practice with one of the characters from No Thank You for the Music. And you see, this is why I don't like making fantasy designs. I like the story, like the idea of it, but I hate drawing those characters because of just their outfits. They're cute. I like them. More stuff for Blackout, and you'll see we're getting into my color pencil work. But this was before I got this giant one. This was when I was testing them out with this more smaller one I got from my mom. And then a beginning of thumbnails for a dropped thing. I stopped working on it, but it's supposed to be an animatic of Star Trek Voyager set to I've Got a Theory from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, because it fits so well with some of these characters. And then here we got my thumbnails for my Pride drawing for Attention Seekers, and then some stuff for the demo state again. Some more practice with lips. I wanted to practice having like lips on a colored piece, but it didn't look right. And then like trying to do like a pattern design, and then like more lip practice, some like side profile practice with the lips, the spaceship idea, maintain with the spaceship, working all the little knots with their forearms. This one's pretty cool, but I have trouble with fantasy designs. This was left unfinished. Thumbnails for the Immortal piece. Yeah, that's him. Some practice with that like eye mask thing that some people have started talking about with eye placement. Yeah, this is for Up the Punks and Play Button, and then practice with crutches with Magical Girls. Again, I'm not quite sure about her drag design. That's something I'm just gonna have to work on. This was a big piece, and lore heavy for this character. And then we've got some stuff for Mischief of Rats and using some of their powers. And here's our first instance of notes. Notes for my psychology class. So yeah, these are all stuff that was like drawn in class. Some practice with drawing guitars. And then we start getting into my math class. And then my black marker was running out, so I got a new one, because no matter how much I refilled it, it wasn't working. More stuff for Devil Watch. Just I honestly don't know which one. I kind of like this one, and then I like this one too. Some more live drawing stuff. Some of the stuff that's hanging from the ceiling in my psychology class, and then Finn with a bat. Book and Grudge, the best characters of Star Trek Discovery. The view from my window outside the math class, and the chair in front of me. Some, just, and then like the trio, the Dumb and Dumber trio. Tuvok, Janeway with a gun. One of the buildings outside my window. And this is our tallest building in my city. 22 stories. Some more practice with the Doctor. Probably the best I've gotten him in that one. Color this one in to practice that design on their coat. I really like drawing Tane. Just the fact that they have like 4 arms is really fun to draw. And then like I tried some experimental coloring stuff. Then like I tried some of that stuff with like the perspective and more stuff with eyes. Some practice with the wheelchair. I struggle a lot drawing wheelchairs. I'm not like a mechanical person, so drawing something very mechanical is hard. So like I just keep practicing. It's more of Sir Smiley, more Star Trek stuff of one of my favorite interactions in the show. And there's Chakotay, because I like Chakotay. And this is what I was feeling during one of our psychology lectures. We were talking about consciousness, but I get the laugh because I put a little Ferengi right there. Some more stuff for Mischief of Rats. Some color pencil work when I got this giant pack of it. There's a colored piece, kind of like one of the ones from before. And the last page full of stuff from a story that I dropped. And data. It's also there. And it's supposed to be my desk. And that's it. That's it for this sketchbook. Next, gonna be going over this one, which will still have some notes in it because I'm not done with my classes. And I'll see you next time.